now at 6, a teen behind bars after the Black Friday shooting in San Jose.
He opened fire at his perceived rival in the middle of the mall.
The new information about the suspect's past and who police say helped him after the shots rang out. Plus, a new face on the San Francisco Board of Supervisors.
Congratulations.
The tough task ahead of Mayor Daniel Lurie's second choice to represent the Sunset District.
And I know that he's very focused on really bringing the community together.
And so long to the sticker.
It's a huge bummer at the end of the day.
We'll hear from a South Bay commuter feeling frustrated that electric vehicles are no longer welcome in the carpool lane. And later, the lights are on in Alameda.
It's a little bit like living in Disneyland.
We'll take you to a street famous for its all-encompassing holiday display.
This is CBS News Bay Area with Juliette Goodrich.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us at 6. Tonight, San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie taking another crack at appointing a supervisor to represent the Sunset District. Alan Wong was sworn in to represent District 4. His appointment comes after Lurie's previous choice resigned after just 1 week on the job. And as our Kelsey Thord reports, Wong will almost immediately be forced to weigh in on some of San Francisco's most heated political issues.
Commissioner of the San Francisco County Transportation Authority.
San Francisco of the San Francisco County Transportation Authority.
And member of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors.
And member of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors.
Of the City and County of San Francisco.
Of the City and County of San Francisco.
Congratulations.
Surrounded by hundreds of supporters on the steps of Lincoln High School, his alma mater, Alan Wong became San Francisco's newest District 4 supervisor.
The Sunset is the community I love and the only home I've ever known. Serving as supervisor is the greatest honor of my life.
Wong was born and raised in the Sunset. His resume includes working as a policy advisor for former supervisor Gordon Marr, serving on the City College Board of Trustees, and working at the Children's Council of San Francisco. Those who know him best say he's had a love for local politics since he was a teenager.
So I first was introduced to Alan when he was 16 or 17. He walked into our Sunset Community Democratic Club meeting and said he wanted to be active and involved and wanted to help represent the young people and the Sunset. So here he is today, hopefully representing the Sunset.
Wong fills the hole left by former supervisor Bea Alcaraz, who stepped down after just 1 week on the job when accusations of bad practices related to her former business surfaced. Mayor Daniel Lurie told us he has full confidence Wong will be in the position through the rest of the current term.
I know that we had a much more thorough vetting process, continue to get community feedback and buy-in, and that's what resulted in our new supervisor here. I'm really proud of the appointment. I look forward to working with him in the months and years to come.
Wong comes into the seat at a time when the Sunset is rife with political disagreement. Former supervisor Joel Engardio was recalled by voters earlier this year after the passage of Prop K turned the Great Highway into a park. Many residents are also concerned about how the mayor's proposed family zoning plan will impact the Sunset. Wong says he plans to support the family zoning plan. He voted no on Prop K, but says he wants to listen to both sides of the debate, including the idea of a compromise ballot measure that would reopen the highway to cars on weekdays.
I will be meeting with stakeholders that supported both the closure of the Great Highway and those that supported the compromise, and ensure moving forward, before I make any decisions, major policy decisions, that I have public legitimacy and trust.
Angie Pettit owns Sunset Mercantile. She told me she was happy to see the new supervisor stepping up and putting his constituents' voices first.
I think he'll bring some balance, and I know that he's very focused on really bringing the community together after such a strange and hard time.
It's regaining that trust from locals that Wong says is his top priority.
Above partisanship or ideology, I ask my neighbors for some grace as I listen, learn, and step into this next chapter of my service.
San Francisco's Board of Supervisors is scheduled to vote on Mayor Lurie's family zoning plan tomorrow. We are learning more about the teenager arrested for opening fire inside Valley Fair Mall in San Jose on Black Friday. It turns out the 17-year-old suspected gang member was already on probation for a concealed weapons violation. A Friday shooting sent shoppers running. 3 people were hit in the barrage of bullets, including the target in the attack, and a woman and 16-year-old girl who were bystanders. Police say the teen suspect carried a gun tucked inside his waistband and then opened fire after a confrontation with a rival gang.
What was truly shocking was that the juvenile suspect with the gun was accompanied by a female pushing a baby in a stroller. He opened fire at his perceived rival in the middle of the mall.
Authorities say that woman with a stroller had what the DA is calling a familial relationship with the suspected shooter, but did not elaborate. She's now facing charges for helping him escape. City officials are expressing frustration that the juvenile justice system does little to deter teenagers from serious gun crimes.
I'm afraid that if we don't change the way our system holds young repeat offenders accountable, we may be providing a perverse incentive for gangs to recruit children at younger and younger ages.
The Santa Clara County DA went as far as to call the Black Friday shooting an act of terrorism. He says he will be filing serious charges against both people arrested. Tonight, police are still searching for the suspects after a mass shooting in Stockton over the weekend. 15 people were shot Saturday evening and 4 were killed at a child's birthday party. Authorities have not identified the victims, but their families are coming forward, holding remembrances for those who died. We now know 21-year-old Susanna Archuleta and 14-year-old Amari Peterson were 2 of the people killed. Earlier this evening, Amari's father spoke about what he saw that terrible day.
I'm on top of Amari. I'm trying to grab him. I'm like trying to see where he's hit because he's just sitting there just going. And I'm just like, man, I'm like, where you hit at? Where you hit at? I have an image of my son dying in my head over and over and over and over. Then him smiling, then him walking away, then him smiling, then he coming. Like, I just keep seeing my son in my head.
The other victims who died were 8 and 9 years old. Authorities still have not released any details about the suspects. The FBI is raising its reward for information to $50,000. This is the end of an era for some California commuters. The carpool perk for electric vehicles is officially over. So those stickers you see on the bumper of EVs are now meaningless. So starting today, the CHP will cite those driving solo in the carpool lane. Our John Ramos has more on how those stickers helped jumpstart the EV industry.
The Clean Air Vehicle Decal Program was first enacted in 1999, and now in 2025, it's come to an end, which means even those who are trying to save the planet will now have to get in line with the rest of us. The program that allowed certain clean air vehicles to use the carpool lane actually came to an end at the beginning of October, but the CHP gave a 60-day grace period for drivers to get used to the idea that the free ride was over and tickets would now be issued to violators.
This was something that, under federal law, this program ended. And so our role is not to, capitalize on that. It's merely just to enforce the existing HOV laws.
The Trump administration officially ended the program, as well as the federal tax credit for EV buyers. But the state of California was already winding the sticker program down anyway. But when it first started, it was considered a huge incentive to jumpstart the fledgling electric car industry.
So if you go back, over 10 years ago when it was launched, it got a lot of attention. And in those days, like EVs were sort of this new thing, right? And people needed a reason, lots of reasons to buy EVs. And as a benefit, the OHV lane access, right, was kind of a big deal. And
Lauren McDonald runs an industry research group called Chargeonomics. He says the range and quality of the vehicles has increased and the price has dropped to the point that driving in the carpool lane is no longer a necessary incentive.
It helped put a lot of people over the top, especially if they commuted in a bad commute on a daily basis.
But that's how it all started for John Stringer. The founder of the group Tesla Owners of Silicon Valley says the sticker was a huge deal back in 2018.
It's a huge bummer at the end of the day, right? It's, one of the biggest reasons for buying an electric vehicle has always been you get access to the carpool lane. Pre-COVID and even post-COVID now, traffic's just horrible. It's actually worse now. And one of the biggest reasons why I bought my first Tesla about 7 years ago was because of the carpool lane, to be able to literally shave off 20 minutes each way to work.
Stringer bought his new Cybertruck, his fourth Tesla, in 2024, knowing that its HOV privileges wouldn't last long. But not every EV owner qualified anyway, with the state limiting the number that could be on the road. So having the sticker became a status symbol to some and an irritant to others.
I imagine the other drivers get pissed off that they're in traffic, and then you have somebody, because of their car, they don't have to be in the same situation as them.
Armando Diaz may be a rare breed. He bought his Tesla for the technology, but never felt right about his ability to gain a carpool advantage over others.
I've never felt the need to kind of assert my use of the carpooling. If I have a passenger in my car, I will drive carpool. Other than that, I'm just normally driving on the street, same as everybody else.
Now everybody is driving the same as everybody else, and the electric car industry will have to make it on its own merits. But, of course, the most important incentive of all is still going strong.
So the CHP says it is not planning any targeted enforcement efforts now that the stickers have become invalid, but they say they will be ticketing solo EV drivers in the carpool lane just like any other vehicle. The violation carries a fine of $490. All right, on to more freeway news. Another change for North Bay commuters. Starting tomorrow, metering lights are coming on to a number of on-ramps along Highway 101. So the meters will be located at 12 locations from Petaluma to Sausalito. They won't all come on at once. Caltrans says some of the work will take until early next year. This comes just a few months after Caltrans opened up a new HOV lane along 101 and changed the carpool hours. All right, still ahead here at 6. Teachers in one East Bay school district are on the verge of a strike. Where the negotiations stand and how it could impact classes. Plus, our Suji Nam is live from a popular holiday tradition.
It's the first day of December, Juliet, which means holiday lights are up here in Alameda. Coming up, I'll show you some of the festive themes this year.
Roughly 1,500 teachers in Richmond are preparing to strike on Wednesday. That is, if their union is unable to come to an agreement with the West Contra Costa School District. The United Teachers of Richmond has been negotiating with the district since February. The union's demands include increased staffing and pay raises. Meantime, the school board is trying to balance a multi-million-dollar budget deficit after already cutting more than $32 million over a 3-year span. The district says schools will stay open during a strike, but some special education services could be limited. The district also says it will keep providing meals, and if parents choose to keep their children home during a strike, they can sign up for independent study. For nearly 90 years, Christmas Tree Lane has brought holiday magic to Alameda, and tonight, the tradition continues. Homes on Thompson Street just flip the switch on their decorations, lighting up the street in festive cheer. In fact, our Suji Nam joins us live now from the middle of the celebration. Lights are on. Hi, Suji.
Hi, Juliet. I think you're going to appreciate this reference. Here comes Sandy Claus right down Christmas Tree Lane. I'm here along Thompson Avenue in Alameda, and here is one homeowner's take on holiday lights this year, the nightmare before Christmas.
One of my favorite movies out there is Nightmare Before Christmas, so it's a little bit of an homage to that. So I've got Jack up on the roof and some of the kids and Lock, Stock, and Barrel and all the characters around.
It's the most wonderful time, well, festively spookiest time of the year for Steve Geary.
I got that going, and this is good.
He's been decking out his home along Thompson Avenue in Alameda for the past 19 years.
Pretty good over there. It's the quietest little cute block most of the year, and then for December it's a little bit like living in Disneyland. It's just packed with people and a ton of fun.
And just hours before the neighborhood's official lighting of everyone's decorations, Geary and his friend Sam Bradley were making sure all the timers were queued up.
Pretty much everyone's involved with putting up the lights. We have, last weekend we had a group of people out here and got the lights up in the center of the street. Everyone's in charge of their own house.
Geary says it's all about coming together and spreading that holiday cheer for families who stroll on by.
A really long-standing Alameda tradition and just a really neat thing that brings the neighbors together.
Well, neighbors tell me they plan to keep up these lights across the neighborhood until through the first week of January. So if you want to come on by, do something fun and free, it is free to look at these beautiful lights. Please come on by to the Christmas tree lane here in Alameda. Juliet, I'll send it back to you.
Oh, Suji, it's just beautiful. Bundle up and go have fun. It's all free and it's all lit up. All right, Suji, thanks so much. Okay, so Paul, it's cold out there.
It is chilly out there. Another chilly start to the month of December today. Our temperatures topped out anywhere from 3 to 9 degrees below average, in the 50s across most of the Bay Area. But the stubborn low cloud cover and fog that has been hanging out for the past several days is going to start to break up a little bit tomorrow. Details coming up in First Alert Weather. For the past week or so, we have been stuck in this stagnant weather pattern that has trapped fog in the Central Valley, and a lot of that has leaked into interior valleys of the Bay Area. It's also trapped urban pollution near ground level and a lot of smoke from wood-burning stoves and fireplaces. But a little shift is about to happen, and it's dropping down from the north. We're looking at the coast of Canada and the Pacific Northwest, and this disturbance here is going to be moving off to our east. It's what we call an inside slider. It's going to be staying inside the coastline, doesn't have access to much moisture, so it's not going to give a good chance of rain to the Bay Area, but it's going to reduce the weight of the atmosphere on top of us, and that's going to help to allow the fog to dissipate to a greater extent. And it's also going to be kicking up some stronger offshore winds, especially tomorrow night into Wednesday. That also is going to help to dissipate the fog. But for tonight, we are going to see the fog reforming in the Central Valley especially, and a lot of that's going to spread into the interior valleys of the North Bay and the East Bay, so a gray start to the day once again. But as those winds start to pick up already tomorrow afternoon, we are going to see that fog hanging on tough in the Central Valley for much of the day. While around the Bay Area, I think we're going to see that fog giving way to more sunshine by late morning, and an earlier emergence of the sun should help our temperatures to warm up to a greater extent than they have for the past several days. Let's talk about those hour-by-hour wind gusts. We'll start the clock at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Not going to be very breezy throughout most of the day. The strongest gusts in the 10 to 15 mile an hour range. But the gustier conditions are going to shape up late tomorrow night into early Wednesday morning. We'll see those offshore winds becoming a little bit stronger, some closer to 30 mile an hour gusts from time to time. And you see more of that developing as we head through Wednesday morning. Most of the gusts are going to be 15 to 20 miles an hour, but especially in the North Bay and into Solano County, some 20 to 30 plus mile an hour gusts, again, helping to stir the atmosphere around, and that should disperse the fog and allow temperatures to warm back up to closer to normal for this time of year, which is in the low to mid 60s. It'll also help to improve our air quality. I think we're going to see more green dots on the map by Wednesday and probably Thursday as well, but this kind of pattern has a tendency to kind of reestablish itself without any large-scale changes in the big picture pattern. So no major storm systems headed our way. Air quality more likely to become an issue already by the end of the work week and heading into the first weekend of December. For now, it's chilly out there. Temperatures are mostly in the mid to upper 40s, low 50s in San Francisco. That's the least cool spot on the map that we can find. Most of our temperatures will end up in the 40s by early tomorrow morning, with some of the coolest locations in the upper 30s. But we should be able to warm up to a greater extent than we have for the past several days. Here's a look at tomorrow's forecast highs. Back into the low to mid 60s, 64 degrees for high temperature in San Jose, maybe a degree or so warmer than that around Morgan Hill and Los Gatos. Temperatures east of the Oakland Hills, where you've been in the 50s for the past several days, should manage to climb up to at least around 60 degrees, if not into the low 60s, if we're right about how fast the fog dissipates. If we're wrong and it hangs on a little bit longer, you're going to be in the 50s again. Low to mid 60s around the Bay, a mix of upper 50s and low 60s at the coast, and temperatures mostly in the low 60s for the North Bay as well. Once again, it depends on how right we are about how fast the fog is going to dissipate. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. And one thing you're not going to see is rain. We are dry for the next 7 days. If we had a 10-day forecast, it would also be dry. The next hint of rain doesn't head our way until the end of next week or maybe the following weekend. So that'd be the weekend of the 13th and 14th. Jules, that is a long way down the line. We're going to be at the end of a probably 3-week stretch of dry weather by that point, and we will need some rain.
We will then, but just bring the temps up.
Yeah, we're trying.
Okay, thank you. When we come back, a major milestone for a local nonprofit that has been helping people affected by the AIDS crisis for decades. Breaking news, BART is reportedly experiencing a major delay system-wide. It's because of a medical emergency at the West Oakland station. In fact, one of our KPIX producers is on a train bound for West Oakland, and she told us that it was stopped. So we're going to stay on top of this and have more for you at 7 o'clock on this major system-wide delay with BART. Meantime, today is World AIDS Day, and a San Francisco nonprofit that has been providing meals for the HIV community for the last 40 years celebrated its anniversary today. Project Open Hands serves over 3,000 meals per day and delivers them throughout the Bay Area to people who have been diagnosed with HIV. They also provide medically tailored groceries for 10,000 people in the Bay Area annually. One client says that the nonprofit's help has been key to his 20-year survival with the disease.
Anyone can walk through those doors, and if you need it, they'll help you. If you're HIV positive, if you have problems with certain medical conditions, they'll take care of you with open arms. I don't know many organizations that have been doing it day in and day out for 40 years.
Project Open Hands also released the 3rd issue of its Treatment magazine. Also, this holiday season, we are partnering with the local food banks for our annual Food for Bay Area Families drive. So you want to help, just scan the QR code on your screen right now or head to kpix.com. Again, more on the breaking news with the system-wide outage at BART. We'll have more on that. CBS 80 News is next. See you at 7.